here are my picks for shows that I think should have been nominated if they were actual shows. For Best Comedy Series, without a doubt, my pick goes to Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire, The College Years. At first, I was a little worried about the adaptation of this clearly amazing movie, but I think casting Kenan Thompson as the 19-year-old Precious was comedy gold. I will admit that the second half of the season kind of slowed down, but you could really tell where executive producer J.J. Abrams' input came into play when Precious found the locker that sent her back in time to fight Godzilla. I also hope that Gary Busey will nab that Emmy for the supporting actor as Precious's boyfriend / reincarnated Rancor from Return of the Jedi. But this show can't win them all. For drama series, the list starts and ends with Breaking Malcolm, the crossover hit that combined everything you loved about Breaking Bad with Malcolm in the middle. I know I was blown away when they murdered all of Malcolm's siblings in the opening scene, but then I realized those actors weren't doing anything else anyways. So they might as well kill them as pawns for this saga. Bryan Cranston reprises both of his roles superbly, of course, but I didn't really see the point of the whole Freaky Friday story arc. I mean, they already look the same, am I right? Just another excuse to do more color symbolism. However, seeing Frankie Muniz smoke a lot of meth and burn down that orphanage was insane, and that was just to prepare for the role. Without a doubt, the best reality competition program is Charlie Kaufman's Guess What I'm Thinking. Never before have I seen such a mind-bending journey into one man's psyche, and I didn't think they could have so many kangaroo knife fights on television. I mean, some kangaroo knife fights are to be expected, but this show just knew what its audience wanted: man versus nature. It's such a shame, though, that the show had to be canceled due to all of the complaints from the victims of Chernobyl. I mean, I guess some people just can't take a joke. I was glad to see AMC reboot Mad Men before the show got old and worn out. Who else would have thought to cast the surviving cast members of City Slickers 2, The Search for Curly's Gold? I mean, Billy Crystal, John Lovitz, the bad guy from Home Alone that wasn't Joe Pesci, Curly. They were all so great as the advertising kingpins. I would have never thought Crystal could pull off Don Draper, but seeing him banging all those women really brings a tear to your eye.
And actually, I do have some tears in my eyes.
I know, it was so touching to see him, like he would go and like host an award show and then he'd just go back to doing advertising and banging chicks.
I mean, I'm having problems, you know, with Breaking Malcolm. That was a really intense show for me.
I know.
If it were a show.
Yeah.
If it were a show, I'd be really moved by it.
Yeah.
And very like, oh, Malcolm.
Yeah, and I mean,
for you.
I was surprised that they could do that on the Precious, The College Years. Like, they crossed so many boundaries, like both like ethically and physically. Like, I didn't know Kenan Thompson could like take that much abuse. But
and it's hard to beat out, you know, shows like Saved by the Bell, The College Years.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and
I mean,
like Rugrats in high school. Like,
you're sitting there comparing the two.
Yeah.
And there's just such an intense, like, you have such intense love for both of them.
They even brought Kel back. Like,
Yeah.
I never thought that he would be like that evil drug dealing pimp that burned everyone down.
But that's what people get, you know, Oscar noms for, is the roles that you don't think they can do.
Yeah, and then like Charlie Kaufman's show, like what did you think about that?
There were some real moments in there, because, you know, reality's a little scripted, but you do get some real moments every now and then, and you really felt for the victims.
But I didn't think it was fair though that all the contestants had mental disables. Like, I thought that was kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
And then if they didn't have them before, they had them afterwards because of all like the electroshock therapy they applied to everyone.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, they signed on for that when I mean, this has got to be, you know, paper upon paper they signed that said it was okay.
Yeah.
But
so basically, these shows better win if they were actual shows, which they are in my mind.